Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today's section is about configuring a DNS server and accessing a website using the DNS server within the LAN network. Okay, in the past section, we set up a web server and learn it, what is it, and test it on the computers. Okay, a DNS server. The DNS means domain name system. That is a server that translates human readable domain names into IP address. Okay, to set up a DNS server, first we need a server. Or you can use existing servers such as dhcpserver or email server or web server. But I am going to choose a new server to avoid confusion. Okay, go to the device and select server. Okay, name it the server DNS server. Okay, keep in mind, if you want DNS server, you must have a web server, otherwise it won't be useful. Okay, let's connect the DNS server to the switch. Go to the connection and click straight through cable. Okay, now set up the negotiation mode for the DNS server. Okay, open the DNS server and go to the config and click FA0 and set bandwidth as 100 Mbps and duplex full. Okay, like that. First we need to find that DNS server connected port on my switch. The port number is FA15. Okay, now open the switch and go to the specific port, in my case FA15. Okay, set bandwidth as 100 Mbps and duplex full. Okay, next let's assign IP address for the DNS server. Open the DNS server and go to the desktop and click IP configuration. Okay, here you can see my last IP address is 192.168.0.3. It's my web server IP. Okay, now let's assign IP address to the DNS server like 192.168.0.4. Okay, pay attention here. I am going to copy the DNS server IP. Okay, first we need to assign the DNS server IP to the DNS server itself. Here you can see the fourth one, DNS server, and paste the IP address of DNS server. Then we need to set up dhcpserver and the web server with the DNS server IP address. Why? Because the web server will be accessed through the DNS server. Okay, just open the DHCP server. Pay attention here. First, assign the DNS server IP to the DHCP server. Okay, go to the desktop and click the IP configuration and paste the DNS server IP. Okay, you can see here the DNS server IP. We have assigned DNS server IP. Okay, now go to the configure the DHCP service. Here you can see the service and click DHCP. You know that we was configuring DHCP service. Then here you can see the third one, DNS server, and paste the IP address of DNS server. The DNS server IP address to distribute to all connected devices. Okay, and click save. Now if you don't have DHCP server, you can manually set the DNS server IP address on your devices. Okay, now assign the DNS server IP address to the web server. Go to the desktop and click IP configuration, and here you can see the fourth one, and paste the DNS server IP. Okay, just mark it the IP address of DNS server below. Okay, now we need to enable DNS service on the DNS server. Okay, open it and navigate the service and click DNS. Okay, first we want to on the DNS service on it, and the resource record, they are asking name in real world like facebook.com or google.com, like that. You can type any name that you want. Here I'm just give tech.com. Okay, my domain name is tech.com. Okay, and the right side you can see type. There are 5 types available. Let's see each one. Summary. The first type of record is A record. The A record used for IP address version 4. You know there are 2 types of IP addresses. One is IP address version 4 and second one is IP address version 6. In our setup, we are using IP address version 4 for all devices. Okay, we will explore IP address version 6 in the IP address section. Okay, the second one is 4A record. The 4A record used for IP address version 6. The first one is A record used for IP address version 4, and the second one is 4 record used for IP address version 6. Okay, the third one is CNAME. The CNAME record is like a nickname. For an example, if your real name is Alexander, but everyone calls you Alex, the both names point to the same person, that is you. Like the CNAME record lets multiple domain name go to the same website. That's all. Okay, the fourth one is DNS record. The DNS record like a phone book. It tells the internet where to find the right server for a website. It points to the server that knows where the website information is stored. Okay, then finally SOA. The SOA record like a setting for a website. It holds key details like which server is in charge and who manages the domain name, and often DNS information should be updated. Okay, here which type we want to select? The A record. Why? Because the web server using IP address version 4. Okay, and click A record. Then finally they are asking address. The address is web server IP address. Keep your mind, the address is web server IP address, and copy it and paste it here. Okay, after that click add. Now we have successfully configured the DNS server and domain name is tech.com. Let's copy it. Okay, check it if this work or not. Before that, I'm going to remove the previous names like Mark and Jack. Okay, you can select any computer that you want. Here I'm going to select PC7. Okay, and before that, just go to the desktop. Okay, click IP configuration. Here you can see we didn't receive yet the DNS server IP address. You can see here, so no problem. Click static and we click DHCP. Now you can see here we got the DNS server IP through the DHCP server. In the first section we have successfully configured the DHCP server. If you don't have DHCP server, no problem, you click the static and you can configure manually. Okay, now go to the web server and click it. Okay, let's paste the domain name, in my case tech.com, and click go. Okay, it's work. You can see here the DNS server successfully work. Let's check using another computer. Okay, let's select the laptop 0. First go to your desktop and click IP configuration. You can see here we didn't receive the DNS server IP. Click static and re-click DHCP. Yes, now the DNS server IP got it. And go to the web server and click it. Okay, let's paste the domain name and click go. Yes, it's work. You can see the domain name server worked perfectly. Okay, now let's look at an example how DNS server works in our scenario. Okay, here I'm using PC9. I'm using PC9 to access the web server. First, when I type a website address, in my case tech.com, into my browser and click go, in the PC9 send a request to the DNS server. First the request go to the search, then go to the DNS server to find the IP address of tech.com website. Then the DNS server send the IP address of tech.com back to the PC9 computer. Come to like this. And finally use the tech.com website IP to access the website. Then go to the switch and go to the web server and access it. These are the background process. Here you got an idea of why we need to use a DNS server. The computers or network devices need an IP address to access a website. In my case, tech.com. In the real world example, we use ISP DNS server or Google DNS server, but we are mostly use ISP DNS server because network devices don't recognize domain name like tech.com directly. Okay guys, today's section is over. I hope you have fully understood the concept of DNS server. If you have any doubt, comment below and stay tuned for upcoming Cisco series. Until then, bye.